Um, let's talk about let's talk about Nate and Stasia and their situation, because there was a very interesting situation between these two actually. These chicken bones are getting to my throat, bruv. But I got a little clip as well. This is interesting.
I feel like I do give him the credit. I just feel like it's not in the way that he wants. He did book the jet ski and the axe throwing. Those are activities he wanted to do. Do I personally want to do them? I don't. But I
Someone free Nate. What's you guys' thoughts on the Nate Stasia situation? I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think both of them, it's not easy. So I'm not even trying to take sides with both Nate and Stasia. I'm not. I don't think it's that case in this scenario at all. JR, what's your thoughts on this?
Well, I think the fact that she had to emphasize that she doesn't, endorse him or show praise in the way that he wants it to be received. I think that was very telling, because part of being in a relationship is to try and learn how someone wants to be spoken to, touched, hugged, all those, you want to learn how your partner wants it to be received, so that you know how to give it to them, to make them feel like they're getting what they want in that situation, right? And vice versa. It's supposed to be reciprocal. And that's the thing I think people go away from nowadays: the reciprocation, the reciprocity. All right. So that was very telling for me. Stasia I think she's trying, because it's working. All right. She's saying that even though she has no interest in doing these things whatsoever, she's still prepared to do them as well. Some of the activities that he likes, she doesn't find that fun. But you know what? She's getting to learn her guy, and she's getting to adapt to some of the things he likes doing. Nothing wrong with that. And I'm sure Nate's doing the same thing for her as well. But just the fact that she had to emphasize it, that stood out for me. It didn't need to be said. Like, it's part of the relationship. You're learning each other, learn each other's love languages, learn what type of TV shows you like, what time you like breakfast in the morning. Learn those things. And hopefully you do a lot of things together, and that keeps you growing together, right?
Who's next? Go for it, Seaway.
This is what I see. Because Black women are hypergamous, a lot of us, and because we are loyal to a fault to Black men, which most of us shouldn't be, people like Stasia have ended up in this position. And y'all gonna say I'm about to jump off the bridge, but I saw Kojo's commentary earlier, and I feel like we're missing the point here. We're missing the point. The problem is, the women in the chat know where I'm going with this. The problem is that somebody like Stasia, of her pedigree, of her money weight class, of her attractiveness level, that all that combination shouldn't have been on Married at First Sight to begin with. Married at First Sight found her the best guy they could find, a stock day trader who I don't believe is trading stocks, and he did the best he could, right? Nate is really working at his capacity. He's really trying here. He's giving an A for effort. But his problem is the fact that he recognizes this difference. He recognizes that women are hypergamous. He recognizes that it's a power imbalance to move into someone's house, right? Because Nate has enough sense, he has enough home training to know that this is really not how this is supposed to go. So he's holding on tight to his apartment. It has nothing to do with whether they have the money to break the lease. He's holding on because he's holding on to the last bit of his manhood. He's holding on to his balls. He's trying to hold on to whatever he has left. And I can't say he's wrong for that. It's a survival. It's his manhood survival instinct. That is what he's trying to do. He also is not, I think he's not as mature in some ways as Stasia. And so he doesn't really realize that, like, this is a woman, I wouldn't say of a particular age, but a particular status who wants particular things. And she does not want to go
particular age.
Yeah, particular age. But definitely by where she is in life, she has that appearance to her, you know, and she doesn't want to do some of those things that Nate wants to do. So that's also a problem. You know, and Stasia is also doing really the best she can. It's not her fault that she makes $500,000 a year. She could work on being a control freak. She could work on that part.
Exactly.
But she's trying to be welcoming to him. And she's like, hey, like, trust me, you know, come over here, come live with me, like, whatever. And he just can't do it. So in the wise words of Bartiz, everyone's wrong and everyone's right. And no one's wrong and no one's right, honestly. And I hope that Nate will trust her enough to kind of let his guard down and maybe believe that she's not gonna make him regret giving up his manhood in that way. And I hope she kind of loosens up to realize, like, hey, you're in a situation with a person who may not be at where you're at in life yet. He may not have your money, you know, yet. You guys may like different things, but, like, let's try to be a little bit more flexible. And if they can push through this kind of weird period, and if Nate can get to where Stasia is in life and they kind of balance out a little bit, I think they'll make it. But if I were him, I would have very similar reservations about giving up my house and my independence to go live with any woman, even one as seemingly as nice and put together as Stasia. So I don't want to villainize either one of them. I think they're in a very, anyone who's lived life and it understands or been married or in a serious relationship, these are one of these issues. This is just an issue. This is just an issue. And I don't know how they're going to fix it. But power through, pray, have a good community, and really communicate and try to trust each other. I think they can get through it. But if they want to keep playing Candace Macho over and trying to have a tug of war of who has the biggest balls and no one wants to move because they're both scared, well, then they're gonna stay where they're at. So that's my thoughts on them.
Love that. Thank you. JR shaking his head. What are you saying, JR? Good rendition,
yeah. I'm saying, listen, no man should have to give up their manhood, first of all, yeah. Like, it's unfortunate that he's with someone that makes so much money, because obviously there is going to be that power dynamic. But, you know, she could have applied for Millionaire Matchmaker, and if she's hypergamous, could have found someone that way, right? But the chances of meeting guys in the majority that aren't entertainers or athletes, or even you could say realtors or in tech, you know, it's going to be very slim that she meets someone where she is in a relationship where she's dating up. But the problem is that with that financial power that she has in the house or in the couple, in the relationship, it's how she uses it. Because if she takes away his manhood, emasculates him behind closed doors, if he does something wrong, starts berating him and all the rest of it, he's definitely going to regret moving into her house where it's going to be her rules. All right. So I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm saying that she needs to make sure part of her role in the relationship is to be moderate in the way that she handles his masculinity, right? As well as the way that she may flip out in the relationship if things go sour. because sometimes the damage can be done and it's hard to undo it. And if there's that motivating factor where, well, I earn more than you, so I've got more say than you and I've got more power than you, so you just shut up and deal with it because you're in my house, anything like that is just not acceptable. But like I said, the good thing is we're not seeing that. What we're seeing is her trying and he's trying. And that's what's leading them to this point so far. I hope it works out for them, because I'm an optimistic person when it comes to these shows. I watch it to see which couples actually work out and last. So yeah, good luck to them. But yeah, I just think that whole giving up the manhood narrative and that's wrong language. No guy should have to do that.
Brother, I hear you, JR. I hear you. No man must give up the manhood. Go for it, Sean. See what you're looking at me like.
Well, you know, in the beginning, I was thinking Siwe was on a cliff, but then, you know, she got some.
She had a parachute. That's what she had. She had a parachute.
She got some, but I think she